This is trade deadline week, and the Raptors just wrapped up their road trip right on cue. Today, we'll talk about what their road trip looked like, what the consensus is between the three of us, and what this team's future might be with Masai and Bobby. And we're going to also look at Kevin O'Connor with the latest reports on OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam, then move our way onto the two guys, Gary Trent Jr. and Fred VanVleet, and what their future has in store. I'm Noor Zainab, next to Jelani, Goodridge-Reid, and Justin Pooni. Guys, the road trip's over.
It is.
The boys are back home. They actually had a decent record, 4-3, 4 wins out of the 7 games. How are we feeling?
Kind of happy about that because we know the West is tough, right? A lot of tough teams. So at least they got a winning record from it. We definitely needed that. And the win last night was great.
They're still in 12th in the Eastern
I know. You don't have to point that out.
There's still 12th in the Eastern Conference. I mean, hey, anytime you have a 7-game road trip and you have a winning record, that's a positive.
Right.
But they're still 12th in the Eastern Conference.
Reality.
I know, it sucks. But they started the whole thing off really, really well against the Kings, got that W. You both had them winning against the Kings.
Okay, you keep on bringing that up.
I know, I have to.
Wait, you should save it for the end of this
I'm just saying,
segment.
I'm going over their record. May I? Do I have your permission? May I? Thank you. And then the Warriors, they got the L. Blazers, they got the W. Suns, they got the L. Jazz, they also got the L. The Rockets, they got the W. And then the Grizzlies last night they were without like 3 starters. And the Raptors kept
they're all
it pretty...
GTA John Moran, who wants to play like
Yeah, we're not talk about that here because I don't know if he's going to be playing the game for the next month or not. We'll see. But John Moran, for the love of God, get your crap together. But that I think it showed that this team is trying to get their defensive gear together, right? Their defensive rating over the past 7 has been 20th in the NBA. But before that, it was 19th. So you also still saw that there were moments there when they were putting their defensive acts together, but then there were also moments that their defensive lapses lost them the game, and it happened quite often. So how could this road trip now, because this was pretty much what we were riding on, Masai and Bobby will look at what this team looks like by the end of the 7-game stretch. So what are they thinking right now?
It's the same team was before the road trip, a 12th place team.
Yeah,
in the
you've been
Eastern
dying
Conference.
to say that. Because I can see the nerve at your forehead. Like,
it's the same team, right? Like, yes, they had a winning road trip. They went 4-3, but it's the exact same team. You mentioned their defense was 20th ranked. They were 19th before. It's the same. They're exactly the same team. There's no stock. You're not buying any stock. You're not going to sell any stock because the Raptors are exactly the same. They're exactly the same. They are who we thought they were.
Dang. Well, I say with those 4 wins, you never know. It could help you as you get back home, right? Play better. You played some good teams in the, who are in the playoff ranks in the Western Conference, so you never know. Might help morale.
Yeah.
But the problem is the trade deadline's right there, so we have to see what's going to happen with that before I can look ahead and see what the team looks like, because we never know. There might be something happening this week. So, but I'll say those
the next couple hours, maybe.
Yeah,
we don't know.
You never know.
It could be dropping right now in the middle of us recording this because Kevin O'Connor came out and he said that the Raptors are still trying to shop OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam. How serious is that statement?
Ooh, I mean, what did I say on Friday? Look, the Raptors see the writing on the wall. Right, Masai is a very smart individual, right? He sees that this team is not going anywhere, and you're gonna take calls on the 2 biggest assets you have, right? And try to get as much as you can. And now that Kyrie Irving's been traded, now all the eyes and attention shifts back on the Toronto Raptors, right? And what are they gonna do? What pieces are they gonna move out? And I'm sure there are a whole bunch of teams blowing up Masai and Bobby Webster's phone line right now, and teams are gonna get desperate because teams are gonna want to load up for the playoffs. And when you reek of desperation, you make bad decisions, and Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster can take advantage of those reeking teams of desperation.
We have traded DeMar before, okay? So anything's possible. I'm going to say that. A lot of people don't want Siakam traded. I don't want him traded, right? Because I think that he's a good player. But at the same time, you're going to ask yourself, what do the Raptors want to do?
Yeah.
Do you really want to, put it all on Scotty moving forward, but still have a Siakam who will be getting older at some point, right? So this is where you have to at least consider looking at the deals that come in the door. If there's calls, you do take those calls. OG, I understand that the calls have been there, right? But now we're looking at Pascal, and I say yes, you also entertain those as well because he's a really good player, right? could have been an all-star. You could argue is a snub this year. You're going to get a load for him as well, right? And you said it. Desperate teams are out there for sure. So you never know. The stock is there for Pascal. A deal might come in the door. I don't know, right? But yeah, that deal that the Nets just did with Mavericks definitely changes things for the Raptors. Where do they want to go? That's the question right now. I think personally they might keep Pascal. I don't know. That's just my feeling. But if I'm running the Raptors, I'm definitely taking the calls, okay? Just because I want to see what's out there right now. And I don't know where my team is currently at. Do we want to be younger and still have a guy like Pascal who we don't even want to know? Like, we don't know, if he wants to play on a team that's going to be rebuilding. That's the one question right now, so I don't know.
Let me ask you guys a question, okay? So let's say, what are the odds, or put a percentage on the chances Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., and OG Anunoby are all traded before the deadline?
Are all traded?
All four of them gone before the deadline.
So before Thursday,
Before
they're all
Thursday,
gone.
what are the chances of all of them gone?
I'm going to say like 2%.
2%.
I'll say 10. I think it's the low.
I'm going to go 20%.
I don't think it's all four of them. Not all
I
four.
think all four of them go.
So what, you're expecting a haul for that to
Well,
get Kevin Durant in the door?
No, I expect a bunch of different moves. OG a separate move, maybe Pascal a separate move. I think the Lakers are going to go all in on Gary Trent Jr.
I think that
right
it would
now.
be 2 of the 4, not 4 of them.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
think
what
I'm
about
doing
okay?
the whole
I just wanted to
thing.
ask
I
the
don't
question.
know.
So 2%, 10%, 20% chance that they're all gone.
Yeah.
So in terms of what's happening with Pascal and OG, because I think what we heard from the Raptors was they're not really inclined on moving OG. Same thing with Pascal. I think they kind of view Pascal as still that cornerstone of the franchise moving forward with Scottie, with those guys. Does this change things now, knowing that Kevin Durant might be available based off of what's happening with the Nets?
You hear it. You hear that KD to it's not gonna happen.
It's not happening. It's a pipe dream. There's no chance.
Even if it does, you're giving away a lot.
The Nets fans, I've seen some, they do actually want Pascal to go alongside KD, right? It doesn't make any sense for KD to come here. He wouldn't want to come here.
He doesn't want to come
in
here
a
anyway.
retooling squad, right? So I think that's a no. And then I'm seeing the other thing about Ben Simmons. Right. I don't even think Masai wants Ben Simmons. Yes, the upside is there. We see the talent, but we haven't seen him, play up to the level that has been expected of him this year. So if you're the Raptors, I don't even look at Ben Simmons, to be quite honest with you. But I do think the Nets are out there for Pascal. Maybe the Suns. A team on the outside looking in who might want to make a deal, the Warriors, because I think they should make a deal.
You forgot my amazing trade with the Sacramento.
You mentioned the Kings. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know about they're not giving up Keegan Murray. Okay, it's not happening.
But yeah, I think the Pascal thing, I would be shocked if the Raptors deal him because I think they want to keep him. That's the thing. Should they? That's the question for another day. But I think they want to keep Pascal in the door. So that's why I'd be shocked if they actually move.
That's why I was surprised, because I was like, I'm pretty sure the 2 guys that they want to move and the guys that are coming up on their contract, which makes sense to move, are Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent Jr., right? So I'm now wondering, because of this new whole Luka move over, sorry, not Luka. I mean, Luka got the partner, right? He got his partner in crime, not Kyrie Irving. The whole move over there, and knowing the Dallas Mavericks were one of the teams that were very interested in getting Fred VanVleet on board over there, how does this change the landscape now for Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent Jr.?
LeBron James.
Oh my goodness.
LeBron dropped that tweet. Maybe it's me.
Maybe so extra.
Remember that
so
Michael Jordan commercial? Maybe it's me.
Yes.
Subtle shade of Michael Jordan by LeBron James. Kudo. I love the pettiness by the king, LeBron James, who will break Kareem's record tomorrow night. Look, the Los Angeles Lakers are desperate. I'll talk about reeking of desperation. The LA Lakers stink of desperation.
Shout out Rob Pelinka. Shout out to Genie.
LeBron has the clutch goons. John Morant had those fake goons go up to Indiana Pacers training staff. LeBron's got the clutch goons after Rob Pelinka trying to make sure he makes a move.
They better.
And they're looking at Gary Trent Jr. is going to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. You can book it because the Lakers need a guy who can shoot, who can make his own shot, a good on-ball defender. Gary Trent Jr. will be a Los Angeles Laker by the trade deadline.
Crazy to call Gary Trent a good defender on this day, right? It's like crazy what his growth has been with the Raptors. Can you admit it? Can you admit it? The Raptors helped him defense.
He's a good on-ball defender.
You're welcome.
I said Gary Trent Jr. is a pure hooper. They won that Norman Powell trade. I said that 2 years ago.
Yes, me as well. But I think for sure the Lakers are a player in this. The reports have already come out that because they missed out on Kyrie, they are pissed right now. So they're looking somewhere else. Okay, who's another squad we could talk to? Oh, Toronto, because they have so many guys who are right now being talked about at the trade deadline. So they definitely need to secure a shooter out there, help out that backcourt. You never know, right? They've been looking for Fred VanVleet for a long time, actually, right? So this might be their prime time. However, I would say this, the Lakers, they always hesitate. At the deadline, they always hesitate for some reason. Remember, they wanted Kyle Lowry when he was actually Kyle Lowry at the time,
what's his
right?
face?
So imagine,
THT.
THT. They didn't want to give him up for a Kyle that was still balling at the time, right? So I don't know about the Lakers, fully, 100%. But I also look at, within that division, the Suns. The Suns, they missed out on Kyrie, right? They wanted Kyrie. We saw
they offered Chris Paul for Kyrie.
They offered the deal for him. You never know. Do they want to bring Fred in the door? Right? I get it, Chris Paul's still there, but do they want to bring Fred in the door, figure out a way to get that guy in? Because we've seen that Chris Paul, he's not the same dude, right? And the rest of the team is just, again, I'm not a believer in Phoenix, right? The situation there is not looking too good. So they might want to make a deal by the deadline. So I'm looking at Fred in that aspect.
Noor's Clippers is going to get Fred VanVleet, by the way.
We will see what happens. But you know what I'm pissed about? The fact that Kyrie Irving gave us one day to take the attention off the Toronto Raptors, and now it's back on my boy. So trade deadline is February 9th on Thursday as of this week. We'll see who's still a Toronto Raptor, who's still wearing a jersey. Justin says he's on 20% sure the entire core of the 4 guys will be moved. I don't think so.
If it happens on Friday,
Are we betting something else too?
On Friday, if that happens, I want a cake brought in for me that I like. A McCain Deep and Delicious Vanilla Cake. I want to put here on this table. I want a cake saying congratulations, Justin.
Knowing the Raptors, nothing's gonna happen.
They're not. We're gonna see what happens.
Knowing the Raptors, there's nothing gonna be.
But a lot was riding on their road trip, and so was. We were also riding quite a bit on this road trip. Jelani, you took the win. I'll tell you that. You got safe. 3 W's.
I'm good.
Justin and I only got 2. So we will be going head to head on Wednesday to see who gets the right player prop for the Raptors game against the Spurs. And we'll also see who's still Toronto Raptor at that point. See you next time on Homestand NBA.